Okay, good morning. Today we are going to see the fire protection rules in ship constructions. It's a SOLAS conversion. SOLAS means safety of life at sea. Fire safety is well represented through a following design regulations. Structural fire protection, example hull, bulkheads and decks. It's the same like as our walls. In the ship walls are termed as hull, bulkhead and decks. Hull is a bottom face area. Restrictions on the uses of combustible materials, installations of exhaust systems, ventilations of cargo such cargo space, fuel tanks and pump rooms, means of escape, minimum stairway size, fire detection and alarm systems, fireman systems, firefighting STU systems, portable and semi-portable requirements, ship construction and design of ship. The basic principle of regulations dealing with ship constructions arrangements are division of ship into main vertical zonal by thermal and structural boundaries, restricted uses of any combustible materials, detection of any fire in the zone of origin, separation of an oxidation accommodation spaces from remainder of ships by the thermal and structural bodies, protection of means of escapes, easy access to the fire extinguishers, readily availability of a fire extinguisher applications, minimization of possibilities of ignitions of flammable cargo vapors. Okay, it's a standard fire test. A standard fire test is one which specimen the relevant bulkhead and deck measures not less than 4.65 meters per or at least have an one side length of not less than 2.44 m is exposed to test furnace to temperature corresponding approximately to the standard fire temperature curves. Here there is a layer at least one side must be deck measured not less than 4.65 meters squared. That if fire must be captured, there must be no flame come outside, no smoke come outside, and no heat come outside. It's a standard fire tester. Non-combustible materials. The non-combustible materials are materials which neither burns or give off flammable vapors in sufficient quantity for self-ignition. It heated to approximately 750 degrees Celsius. This being determined in accordance with the fire test procedure code. Non-combustible material, it cannot be catches the fire. That's a non-combustible material. Any other materials in the combustible materials at time temperature curve for the specifications. At least the end of first 5 minutes it will be 556 degrees centigrade. The second is at least the end of fire 10 minutes is 659 degrees centigrade. At the end of first 15 minutes 708 degrees centigrade. At the end of first 30 minutes, that is half an hour, 821 degrees centigrade. At the end of first 60 minutes, 925 degree centigrade. It's a time temperature curve. In y-axis, it's time in minutes, and the y-axis is temperature. Here the x-axis is time in minutes, and the y-axis temperature. For the first 5 minutes, it's at 556 degrees centigrade. Second, the first 10 minutes is 659 degrees centigrade. And the third one is noted that the 15 for first 15 minutes is 718 degrees centigrade. And for first half an hour, it's 821 degrees centigrade. And the first 60 hours, that's 1 hour, is 925 degrees centigrade. It's a standard temperature curve, time curve. It's like a curve. The FTP code provides international requirements for the laboratory testing, type approved and the test fire procedure for them. Non-combustible tester, smoke and toxicity tester, test for A, B and F class divisions, test for fire control systems. The first one is non-combustibility tester. This is a non-combustible, not burnable, that element can be tested. Second one is smoke and toxic tester. This must be very safety things because the smoke and toxic thing does not be leak. That does not comes outside from the boundary. Third one is a test from A type, B type, and F type class division. Then the final one is the fire control. The fire door control system doors can be tested. Test for surface flammability. Test for primary deck coverings. Test for vertical supporting textile and films. Test for upholstered furnitures and test for beading compartments. Details of insulation. Insulation is a cannot conductivity. Here it's a steel plate, steel furnace. This is a rock wool. Abrasive steel like the asbestos steel. Perlite cement. PVC shed. Ceiling fittings. These are the details of insulation. This does not allow the fire or smoke or something else come outside. This is the insulation details. These are the types of insulation, ceiling fittings. What are the types it is fitted, materials, everything. Insulation materials uses perlite, cement, limestone, polyurethane foam, balsa wood, wire meshes, fiber lines, plywood, etc. Protection of bulkhead and divisions. Here the class A divisions shall be construction of steel or equipment equivalent materials, shall be suitably stiffened, shall have a capability to prevent passage of smoke and flame up to 1 hour. Class A divisions shall be insulated with the approved non-combustible material. Average temperature of unexposed side shall not be rise more than 140 degrees centigrade above the original temperature of 180 degree of any joint. They shall be insulated with approved non-combustible materials such that the average temperature of the unexposed side will not rise more than 140 degrees centigrade above the original temperature, nor will the temperature at any one point including any joint rise more than 180 degree above the original temperature within the time list below. Class A division is class A, that is 60 minutes, class A 30 is 30 minutes, and class A 15 is 15 minutes, class A 0 minutes. It's a that heat transferring time type of class A fire resistance bulkhead. First class A0, that 0 minutes, 50 minutes, 30 minutes, and 60 minutes. Production of bulkheads and decks. Class B divisions shall be construction of materials having the capability to prevent passage of flame up to the first half an hour of the standard fire test. Shall be insulated with approved non-combustible materials. Average temperature of unexposed side shall not be rise more than 140 degrees centigrade above the original temperature of 225 degrees centigrade of the any joint. Class B, there is a two divisions, B 15 minutes and B 0 minutes. They shall be constructed of approved non-combustible materials, and all materials entering into the constructions and actions of B class divisions shall be non-combustible, with the expected that combustible verniers may be permitted, provided they meet other requirements of this character. This is the type of B class divisions diagram. B0, B 15 minutes, and B 30 minutes. Then the class C divisions. Class C divisions are divisions constructions of approved non-combustible materials. They need not to meet the requirements as given in the above classes. Danger of dry distillation may be migrated by boundary cooling. Enter the axis by crouchers positioned with spray protections, directing the water on the ceiling of the surface. Non-combustible and the fire test. Here there is a class type, B class divisions, and C class divisions. What are the materials they are used? In materials for A class division, we use steel or other equivalent materials. In B class, approved non-combustible materials, and the C is approved. C also same, approved non-combustible materials. Stiffening. Here in A class divisions, stiffening is present, and B class it's not necessary, but not specified. In C class divisions, it's not available. Passage of flame and smokes in A class divisions. The percentage prevents passage of flame and smoke to at the end of 1 hour standard fire test. In B also, it prevents the passage of flame at the one end to the half an hour standard test. Its A is the 1 hour test and the B is the half an hour test. Okay. Next, the average test of unexploded sites not to be exceed above the original temperature by, it does not exist for A class emissions 139 degrees centigrade, and B also same 139 degrees centigrade. The temperature will 1 point not exceed above the original temperature by, in A class division it's 180 degrees centigrade, and B class division is 225 degrees centigrade. The time it is already mentioned that for 60 minutes for A60, 30 minutes for A30, 15 minutes for A15. Same like that in B class, 15 minutes the standard flight test at A15 and 0 minutes for B0. Fire detector. There are three types of fire detectors. There are heat detection, flame detection, and smoke detections. Okay. Here you are going to see the types of fire extinguisher equipments. Fire hydrants. Fire hydrant is the pipeline opening at the every deck. Fire extinguisher. There is a portable extinguisher. First one is water type, foam type, dry chemical, and CO2. There are some fixed firefighting systems also there. Okay. First, fire pump. The capacity of fire pump. The capacity of the fire pump is classified as the protection of the breathing depth and the length of the vessel, but not need less than 25 meter cube per hour. As per the SOLAS regulation, fire protection, arrangements of fire pump and of fire mains ship shall be provided with the independent driven fire pumps as follows. The passenger ships of 4,000 tons gross tonnage upwards, at least 3 fire pumps must be fitted. In passenger ships or less than at least 4,000 gross tonnage, the cargo ship of 1,000 tons GRT tonnage and upwards at least 2 fire pumps must be fitted. In cargo ship of at least less than 1,000 tonnage can be satisfied of gross tonnage the admission. Sanitary, ballast, bilge and other general purpose pump may be accepted as a fire pump. Here we use as a ballast pump or bilge pump as also as a fire pump. That's a general service pump. Pump provided that they are not normally used for pumping oil and that also used as a GS pump. They are subjected to occasionally dirty duty for the transfer of oil pumping of oil fields. Substantial changes over arrangements are fitted. Emergency fire pump. In cargo ships of 2000 GRT tonnage, GRT and upwards, if the fire in any one of the compartment could put off all the pumps out of the actions, there shall be an alternative means considered of the fixed independently driven emergency fire pump, which shall be capable of supplying 2 jets of water to the satisfaction of the administration. The pumps and its location can complete with the following requirements. The capacity of the pump shall not be less than 40% of the total capacity of the fire pump required by the regulations, and in any case not less than 25 meter per cube per hour. When the pump is delivered, the quantity of the water required by the pressure at any hydrant shall not be less than the minimum pressure. Fire pump. The boundaries of the space containing of the fire pump shall be insulated to the standard of structural fire protection equivalent to the required for the control station, mass space and emergency fire pump. No direct access shall be permitted between the missionary spaces and the space contain the emergency fire pump and its source of power. When the impractical and the administration tract may accept the arrangement where the access is by means of airlock, each of the two doors being self-closed. We can close from the either sides or through the watertight doors capability of being operated from the space remote from the missionary space. Fire pump supply. In addition, in cargo ship, where other pumps such as general service pump, bilge and ballast pump etc. are fitted in the missionary space arrangement shall be made ensure that at least one of these pumps have the capacity and the pressure required, capable of providing water to the firemen. Relief valve. The relief valve shall be provided in a conjunction with the all fire pumps if the pumps are capable of developing a pressure exceeding the design pressure of the normally the relief valve is set with the 10% more than its working pressure. These valves shall be so placed and adjusted to the prevent excessive pressure in any part of the fire systems. Fire pipes. The diameter of the fire pipes and the water service pump shall be sufficient as mentioned in the IMDG code for the effective distributions of the maximum required discharge. Two fire pumps operated simultaneously. Except there is a in case of cargo ship, the diameter need only the sufficient of the discharge of 140 meter cube per hour. If the fire catches in the engine room area, we bring the firefighting system from the deck side area. If the fire catches in the deck side area, we bring it from the engine room side. Hydrant pressure. The minimum pressure at any hydrant shall not be exceed that at which the effective control of the fire hoses can be demonstrated. The number of positions, the number of positions of hydrants. The number of positions of the hydrants shall be such as at least two jet of water not emanation from the same hydrant, one of which shall be from a single length of the hose, maybe reaches a part of the ship normally accessible to the passengers. Normally, these fire hydrants that hose must be kept in a visible area for readily available purpose. Up to where the ship in being navigated and any part of any cargo spaces when empty, any ro-ros cargo ships or any special category space in which latter case that two jet shall reach any part of the such spaces each from a single length of hose. Furthermore, such hydrants shall be positioned near the access to the protection spaces. This is the diagram of fire hose and the hydrant. Below there is a hydrant and the box. It's a the fire hose or the nozzle is kept and it is secured by a belt strap. Fire hose. International regulation records. For fire hose also we need some regulations. Otherwise, there are necessary that everything must be in low quality. So that everything must be have some regulations. Here the fire hoses to be made of non-perishable materials, at least 10 meter in length provided with the nozzle and the necessary couplings. The maximum lengths are 15 meter in missionary space and 20 meters in other spaces and open decks. 25 meters for open decks are on ships of more 30 meter berth. Hose diameters are 64 mm in UK and some flag states lined hoses are 45 mm diameter with same throat also found. It is essential for fire hoses to be maintained in a good condition, sir. We regularly maintain the hoses, sir. They should not be used for routine purpose. It must be used only for when it is necessary. Canvas hose should be well drained after uses since they are subjected to midway drained and by natural means before being rolled and stored. They are to be examined regularly and are any moving parts are fitted kept lubrication because it must be reduce the frictions. Washer should be correctly seated and replace the deterioration. Fire hoses and hydrants. The hoses in cargo ship. In cargo ship of 1000 GRT and upwards, the number of fire hoses to be provided shall be one of the each 30-meter length of the ship and one spare, but in no case less than 5 in all. The number does not include any hose required in any engine room or boiler room. Nozzle. For the purpose of this character, the standard nozzle size must be used, that is 12 mm, 16 mm and 19 mm, or as near thereto as possible. Larger diameter nozzles may be permitted at the discretion of the administration. For accommodation and the service space, the nozzle size greater than 12 mm need not to be used. This is the nozzle diameter. In what are the parts are required? That is receiving thread. There is a O-ring present, and the adjustable rotating sleeve is present, and the screw thread also at the end. It's a convergent like to increase the pressure. This is the jet type, spray type, that a 3-position nozzle. This is the fire hydrant position, where like fire hydrants are placed deck side and the engine side. Emergency fire pump also present. The fire and the ballast pump is fitted there. Main fire pump is noted as a red color. It's an international shore coupling. We bring that international shore coupling for that. In any part of the area, the size must be in standard. The outer diameter is 178 mm. The inner diameter is 64 mm. The bolt circle diameter is 132 mm. Slots of flanges 4 holes must be present. 19 mm in diameter spaced. You can see on a bolt circle of the each above diameter slotted to the flange periphery. Flange thickness must be 14.5 mm is minimum. Bolt and nut 4 each of 16 mm diameter, 15 mm length with the washer. The international shore coupling shall be of steel or other equivalent materials. Shall be designed for 1 N by mm squared surface. The flange shall be have flat surface on the one side and the other side shall be permitted attached to the coupling that fitted on the ship hydrants and hoses. The IAC shall be kept aboard, on board and together with the gasket of the any suitable material, together with the bolt nut and the 8 washers. Okay, thank you.